Don't forget to press the mic. No?
You said 20 minutes.
Yeah.
Thank you very much, Chair, and greetings to everyone. You know, my colleague is talking about people who believes in Christ. Many people laugh at me when I say there's a shift, you know, a different spiritual shift in our country. And I think the committee serves as something of, if I think about Moses' story, when God says to him, take off your shoes, you are standing on holy ground. Then he throws down his staff and the staff turns into a snake. And it appears to me that our committees has become somewhat of holy ground. Because when we throw down our staff, all these snakes appear. And, you know, the difference between, and I'm not perfect. All of us as snakes. I'm one of those who believes in Christ with snakes. I've got a lot of snakes. All of us as snakes. But the difference is, God says to Moses wants to run away from his snake. God says to him, face your snake. Take up your snake. And I think that's the exercise here. Let us accept our snakes, account for our snakes, and take up our snakes. And I'm hoping that's going to be the experience here. Is it Ms. Tache?
Yes.
Am I saying that correct?
Yes, you are.
Ms. Tache, you presented on transformation. Everyone knows I am very concerned about that. Over 80% of African employees, and that's the only thing that you zoomed into. Who are you referring to when you say African?
Can answer.
Apologies, remember we should have also indicated the other races. We've got a total of 9 colored employees. We've got 2 white employees and we've got 1 Indian employee.
So the races you just mentioned, they are not African?
No, they are, so we've got black employees, which are your Africans, your colored and your Indian employees. So the African that will be reflected in the presentation are the Africans, the black Africans, not the colored blacks or the Indian blacks.
Are coloreds and Indians and white people Africans?
Yes, but in terms of the Employment Equity Act, what we call black would be your colored, your African, and your Indian employees.
So coloreds are not African?
No, they are African.
Whites are not African?
They are African.
Indians are not African?
They are African.
Then you should have reported on Africans.
Honorable Sauls, Honorable Lonzi's hand.
No, thank you, Chair. No, I think Honorable Sauls is unfair on CETA because it's clear, it's the act that designates how companies, universities, and all of these people must classify the different races in South Africa. If Honorable Sauls has a problem with how Africans, blacks, colors, and whites are classified, he certainly can't put that on the CETA. He must go and challenge it at a legislative point of view. He must go to Parliament and say, let's no longer have whites or blacks, or let's call everyone African. But to expect an entity at that level to now want to speak about who is African, I think, at least for a lawmaker, he should understand that certainly it's not within the purview of the CETA. Thanks, Chair.
Okay.
It's in the purview of the CETA when you come and present, and your posture is that you will not even talk about coloreds, Indians, and whites. The Act does not preclude you from not presenting about them. And so I'm dealing with your posture. We will deal with the law. But when you show that even in your approach, they are not important enough to come and talk about. And that's what I'm addressing. And I think that's the superior logic we need to deal with. And the amounts, is that equivalent to the target for these race groups that you've just mentioned? You said white African is how much?
2.
We said we had 2 white
Two.
employees.
Indian?
1.
Got 1,
1. Colored?
9.
9. Is that achieving your targets for those race groups in terms of the act?
Not necessarily. However, there has been an improvement. I think in the last financial year, we've had a number of other races that we have employed besides your Africans. So there is an improvement, but we're still working towards achieving the targets.
So the answer is no.
Yes.
And that's the point. Even in line with the act, there's a target given, the target is not achieved, and the bar is very low. So I'm dealing with the posture. Thank you, Mrs. Thatcher. Mr. Pasha, do you know about the complaint where one of your employees, Ms. Tsitsi, required an 8,000 rand for the printing and issuing of accredited certificates that she calls her side hustle?
Yes, member, I'm aware of that.
Is she fired?
No, member, in terms of our disciplinary code, the matter was reported and it was escalated to the office of the CEO, as he has ultimate responsibility for disciplinary matters, and the matter was then dealt with by the office of our CEO.
There was a formal report done in August. Should by now not that have been dealt with?
So the matter was with the office of the CEO. I did not continue with that particular matter after that because it's delegated in terms of our delegation of authority to sit with the office of the CEO. So I was not further involved with that particular matter after that.
The reason why it's important is not just because of the person, it's because there are students participated in a program. They don't have certificates. A report has to be given to the National Skills Fund who funded the program. So this is not even about the one member. Do you understand that the delay in dealing with this matter is affecting people's lives? Therefore, the urgency.
I think the administrator, because there's an administrator, must respond to that issue of consequence management, because they would have referred it to the office of the CEO, and they take it up with the administrator to respond to you on that one.
I will accept your guidance, Chair. I was just thinking the administrator just started, but you may.
Thanks, Chairperson and Honorable Sauls. Indeed, I'm quite familiar with the facts around that. I think the forensic report was completed about 2 weeks ago. I'm residing with the final version of the reports. We've just finalized last week the appointment of lawyers. We didn't have a panel of lawyers, so we went out to seek a panel of lawyers who are essentially going to be implementing the disciplinary processes, including, because this one has a criminal element, including the opening up of the case. But over and above that, systems alteration and changes to practice, and organizational redesign to avoid selling of this type of exercise. Thanks. Yeah.
Noted on that internal process, but also a speedy action so that the students get their certificates. That's where the concern lies. And then you can still deal with Ms. Titi and her side hustle. But Administrator, Mr. Nkwana, I want to tell you about the heroes in your organization that you now have responsibility for. But tell me quickly, very concisely, do you think that placing a SITA under administration is a legal way for looting and victimizing whistleblowers? Very concisely.
So your question is about why CETA was placed under construction?
No.
I'm saying under administration.
No.
Can you rephrase?
My question is, do you think
Yeah.
that placing a SITA under administration is a legal way for looting and victimizing whistleblowers?
No,
No?
it's not. Yeah.
I want to tell you about heroes as you go into this process.
Yeah.
In SITA. There's members named Miss Constance Matsapola. You know, she reported irregularity in 2022. She was suspended. She won the appeal. And the CEO decided he doesn't want to appoint her. You have Nkululeko Vilekazi. He reported an unknown participant in a BEC meeting. And for that, he was suspended. Taken through disciplinary, he won. And that's why he's back. Mr. Tsepo Mohoane. He's currently, apparently, allegedly at home with the intention of suspension. And this is because he refused to amend minutes in favor of a particular beneficiary. To Miso Mputi, who was suspended and is still fighting today, she went up until the public protector. No one is helping her. These are whistleblowers that are being victimized. These are the real heroes. CFO, do you know these staff members?
Yes, I do.
Mr. Pasha, do you know these staff members?
Yes, I know of the names, ma'am.
Is it true that Ms. Matsapola won her appeal, Mr. Pasha?
That was what was reported to our exco, yes. I was not involved directly with the case as disciplinary matters are handled by the office of the CEO.
You are sure you weren't involved in any way?
So the matter was presented to our exco for us to consider the matter and how the matter should move forward. But the actual disciplinary matters, in terms of delegation, were being handled by the office of our CEO.
Was it brought to you as the exco after the appeal? The appeal outcome?
Yes, the appeal outcome was brought back to exco as the CEO had communicated that there was a finding of guilty, but the finding and what, for lack of better words, the consequence for it was an issue and something that needed to be discussed and tabled to exco
So why
because it
do you
didn't
say-
make sense.
So why do you say you are not familiar? But it was appeal outcome and then brought to you. So you know exactly whether or not she won the appeal or not. But let me take it to Ms. Tache, and then I'm going to come back to you. Ms. Tache, is it true that you were part of the group that had to vote whether Ms. Matsapola should be reinstated?
Yes, I was.
Who else was part of that process of voting whether she must return?
I remember the CEO, the former CEO, Mr. Pasha was there, Mr. Khatebe was there.
So the four of you,
I think the board secretary was there as well, Mr. Dada.
how did you vote?
I voted for her to come back to work.
Who voted for her not to come back?
Everyone else voted for her not to come back to work.
Who's everyone else that is here?
Mr. Pasha, Mr. Sanele were there when they voted for her to not come back to work, but take the matter to the Labour Court.
So here's an employee who's a whistleblower. She's suspended. She goes through the disciplinary process. She appeals. She wins. She also goes to the CCMA, she wins. she must be reinstated. It is decided by a group of people. Despite the outcome, she must not be reinstated. You are the only one that sees reason for her to be reinstated. The rest feels a majority vote amongst yourselves is keeping this person currently. She's at home because majority decided they're not going to follow the outcome. Mr. Pasha, CFO, why?
Member, I think, so I differ on the finding. She did not win the appeal. There was an inconsistency in that particular report, and to provide the detail, it did find that she did do wrongdoing, but the actual sanction had said that nothing should be done about it. And I think this was previously reported on last year when we were in Portfolio Committee. She was one of the people who were listed and were asked by Portfolio Committee, why is there no consequence management on particular cases? On that basis, where we believed from that appeal, it did say that there was wrongdoing, it would not be correct to then not then deal with the matter. And there's an inconsistency again, or issue with our HR policies that don't deal specifically with issues like that. So we believe that allowing the matter to go to Labour Court would allow an external independent person to then make that specific finding. Again, the Office of the CEO was dealing with disciplinary
Because I've got-
matters and was to
sorry, Mr.
procure a
Pasha.
legal opinion on it.
Because I got 3 minutes left. Here's the thing. The matter that you had to vote for before you, that you had to vote for amongst yourselves, was whether she should return or not. That was the question. In other words, what you had before you said she must return. You decided she shouldn't. And the only reason why she's not at work today is because one person out of the group voted she must come back. That's how it got decided. Now you say it must go to Labour Court. She must now pay to challenge that decision. Why? Now I put it to you that I've seen the report, and you're wrong. You, CFO, and others stood with the CEO. And there's reasons why. All the irregularities that she exposed, even the reports. I'll challenge the details of the reports that the administrator has before him that also implicates whistleblowers, the people who are standing up for what is right, the people who is exposing the snakes. Now here's the difference to all of you. The difference is, you know, when Moses threw the snake, when he went there to Egypt to save his people, the magicians there of Egypt also threw down their staffs and it turned into snakes. We have magicians here that can make millions disappear. Magicians that make charges disappear. But the difference is, you see, Mr. Velakazi, Ms. Matsupole, Tumisa, those ones, they are not snakes, they are doves. So you bit them and your poison is keeping them at home now. They don't have jobs just because they were doing the right thing. They were doves. They are doves. They're humble. But God is raising up a remnant like Moses. When they throw their staffs, it's not doves, it's snakes. It's now snake for snake. And we coming, the difference with Moses' snake, his snake swallowed up the other snake. Some snakes don't bite, Mr. Pasha. They swallow up. We're coming. We're coming hard. Treat our people properly. Administrator, I hope you will look into these matters. And you will be different from others. And bring back these people who stands for what is right in the organization. Thank you, Chair.
Yeah, I just need clarity on the thing. So, Mr. Pasha, you are saying the person was charged and they went through a DC. Can you take us through that, what happened, so that we are able to document this thing? So a person was charged, went through a DC, and then what? Take us through.
I think, Chair, so that I don't mispresent it, when the matter was then tabled at EXCO, it related to an appeal of the finding of the DC.
So you only get in at the appeal level?
Yes, that is the matter that was presented to EXCO.
HR, what happened?
The employee was charged. She went through a disciplinary hearing. She was found guilty and she was dismissed. She then lodged an appeal where the dismissal was overturned.
Hold on. So she logged an appeal against what?
Against
the guilty version and the
sanction.
And the sanction.
Yes.
And then what happened?
The appeal hearing recommended that she be given a written warning, but that the sanction of dismissal was too harsh and that she should return to work.
And not found guilty.
She was found guilty.
So the appeal finds her guilty.
Yes, but they find the sanction to be too harsh because
so where does she appeal?
I'm sorry, I said,
Where does she appeal? So Mayor Sita did not appeal the decision. They took it to HRRC. So yourselves.
oh, we appointed an independent appeal chairperson. And
Okay.
they produced a report.
So it was also independent, this one. There's an
Yes,
independent process. But says the sanction is too harsh.
Yes.
She must be given a written warning and then
Reinstated.
be reinstated.
Yes.
And then what happened?
The decision or the report, the appeal hearing report was tabled at EXCO.
According to your policies, is that allowed for EXCO to?
No, it's not allowed.
So why did you sit in a meeting that was irregular?
So it was a normal EXCO meeting, and I think it was an additional agenda item that served there. I think I had escalated the matter to the HR committee of the board to deal with it because I was not in agreement with the CEO in terms of what he wanted to do. So what happened is that when the appeal hearing outcome came, we presented it to the CEO to say this is what the appeal outcome is saying. We recommend that she be brought back to work and she received her warning. But he did not agree with us and he thought that it would be better to take it to EXCO for a vote. And then he would then inform the board on the planned way forward, which was to take the matter to the Labour Court.
Okay, so it was not supposed to go to EXCO.
No, it wasn't.
So the normal process was it must go to the board. Or what will be
The only
normal
reason
process?
I took it to the board was because the CEO was refusing to reinstate her.
So the normal process would have been you give to the CEO and he reinstates?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll give you Honorable Sauls. I wanted this one, Honorable Kaka.
Clarity for somebody. Yes, just clarity for me, just on two things. On what exactly was she guilty of, but then most importantly, I need your ears to help me here. In Honorable Saul's first question to Ndate Pasha, on his involvement in this case, on whether they know the case. He said that he was not involved. That was his first response. And then only after Sauls came flying, he came back to say no, but then, yes, at ESCO, after May had declared that they were in a meeting, then only did he admit. I need you to help me consult quickly for that, because if indeed his first response was a lie, again we have another case of a person disrespecting us.
Yeah, I'll consult the hindsight, but I thought I had that he was involved at an appeal level, not at the beginning of the process. But I'll consult the hindsight, no problem. What is the name?
Miss Constance Matsapota.
What was according to?
I don't remember all the charges, but I remember that one of the charges had to do with her reporting irregularity to the board. She had reported it to her line manager. So the issue was that, according to the Treasury regulations, it should have been reported to the board, but she reported it to her line manager. So that is part of the reason why the appeal chairperson was saying she did not intend to mislead anyone. She did report the matter, even though she did not report it to the board. She did report it to her line manager, and to dismiss her when the intention was to report is incorrect. So that's one of the key issues that the appeal chairperson had raised.
So you are saying to us, she was charged for reporting to a wrong person. That's the charge.
That's one of the charges.
What are the others?
I don't remember what the others are, but you can find them.
Yeah, let's find them before we conclude. Yeah, what's the issue of results?
Just my watch said 10 seconds left now, just so you know. But I know you are fair, so I trust your watch more. But, you know, it's just difficult because we've got 20 minutes. And so when you listen to, you decide what to engage and what not to. But I must really make this clear, Chair, that I said to Mr. Pasha, I disagree with the position because I've seen what they charged her for. I've seen the details, I've seen the reports, I've seen all of that. And how they're portraying her, just like with the others, is not correct. What Ms. Taje is saying is correct. And she was literally charged and is going through all of this. She's at home now, just for doing the right thing. You know, and what she actually did was, there was in 2022, during a BEC meeting, the chairperson, Mr. Lungisile Kuzana, he recalculated the burden amounts.
Yeah, is that also in the charges?
No, this is what she did. I'm trying to show you what she actually did that got her into this mess.
So this was in 2022?
2022. What she did was, the chairperson in the BEC, of the BEC, recalculated the bidder's amount. The bidder was Synergetic Consulting, so that it must go in his favor. Ms. Matsupola said this is irregular. It's wrong. She stood up against it. That was her mistake. And then now afterwards,
Honorable Law,
in reporting,
order, and I think I'm going to sustain it because.
But you asked me a question.
No.
Chair.
Yeah.
Chair.
Yeah.
I'm worried that if we are going to have to make follow-ups while there's a sequence of members who still like a question, it's going to create a problem to us. Let's agree. If you are not happy, we'll make follow-ups when we have dealt with all members.
Okay.
We've got an obligation to attend the house sitting, some of us, and deal with issues. Thanks.
Honorable Lonzi.
Nothing. Sure, I would do honestly.